The Young and the Restless spoilers. The storm of Cane Ashby's return to Genoa City was one that fans knew would stir the waters, but it wasn't until the dust began to settle that the true magnitude of his presence was revealed. Cane had come back with a quiet confidence, an air of calculated power, and a touch of nostalgia. He'd mentioned his children. He'd spoken of his father's death. But there was something glaringly absent from his narrative. One name, one key figure, remained absent from his revelations: his mother, Genevieve Atkinson. The silence was deafening. Because in a city as connected and tangled as Genoa City, there was no way Cane could mention his family and leave out the one person who had been as much a force of nature as Victor Newman himself. Genevieve Atkinson. The woman who had once taken Genoa City by storm and then vanished into the shadows, leaving behind a trail of secrets, scandals, and broken alliances. For anyone familiar with the history of the city, Genevieve's absence wasn't just curious, it was suspicious. Cane could easily have avoided bringing up his mother, sure. But why was he so careful to erase her from his narrative altogether? Could it be that Cane, for all his ambition and quiet dealings, was still trying to bury the truth of her influence on his life? Or could it be that Genevieve herself was making moves behind the scenes, setting the stage for her inevitable return? Let's be clear here, Genevieve Atkinson is not a woman who returns quietly. The last time Genoa City saw her, she was at the center of a whirlwind of chaos, embroiled in affairs, rivalries, and betrayals that made even the most seasoned power players blink in disbelief. It was a time when the city was on the edge of its seat, trying to figure out whether Genevieve was a scheming villain or a misunderstood woman with the skills of a covert agent. The truth, of course, was somewhere in between. She was, and still is, one of the most dangerous figures Genoa City has ever known. But Genevieve's story didn't end with her fleeing the chaos she'd caused. No. She didn't just disappear. She went underground. She has resources, networks, and a bank account that most people could only dream of. She has enemies, a long list of them. The kind of people whose names are whispered in dark rooms, their business dealings entangled with corporate espionage, backroom deals. And the kind of power struggles that only a woman like Genevieve could navigate with grace and precision. And let's not forget Genevieve's past with Victor Newman, one of the few men she allowed herself to be swept up by. In the world of Genoa City's elite, Genevieve and Victor were a dangerous pair. Their history was more than just a love affair. It was a power play. They were equals, each with their own ambitions and secrets, willing to sacrifice anything to achieve their goals. But just as easily as they had been allies, they were enemies. And when Genevieve left Genoa City, she left with more than just her broken heart, she left with pieces of Victor's empire. And no one was ever truly certain what she took with her. So where has she been while Cane mourns his father and silently reshapes his place in the city? What is Genevieve doing in the shadows as her son slowly builds up his legacy? Is she really tucked away somewhere in a remote corner of the Alps, sipping tea and reminiscing about the past? Or is she waiting, quietly watching, as Cane plays his game, knowing full well that he is still just a piece in the larger chess match she controls? It's not difficult to imagine Genevieve in a secluded villa, orchestrating the next phase of her master plan. She has always been a step ahead of everyone, always thinking 3 moves ahead. Her name is still whispered in the corridors of Newman Enterprises and Jabot, a reminder that she was once the woman who could outsmart anyone and walk away with the prize. As Cane moves through Genoa City, strategically positioning himself in a city that is as much about perception as it is about power, the question lingers: what is Genevieve planning? Perhaps she's not finished with the Newman family. Perhaps she sees Cane's quiet rise as an opportunity, a chance to reclaim what she left behind, or maybe to force her son to finally take a stand. But Cane can't do it alone. If there's one thing he's learned from his mother, it's that the right alliance at the right moment can turn the tide in his favor. And Genevieve is the key to making that happen. Whether she remains a phantom presence, just a whisper in the background. or whether she returns to Genoa City with the same calculated fire she once had, one thing is certain: Genevieve Atkinson has unfinished business. And when she finally steps back into the light, the world of Genoa City will never be the same again. What do you think Genevieve's return will bring to the storyline? Will she ally with Cane to take down the Newmans and the Abbotts? Or will she have her own agenda, one that threatens to destroy everything her son has worked to build? Let us know in the comments below. Imagine this. Genevieve Atkinson strides back into Genoa City, her heels clicking ominously against the polished floors of the city's most powerful establishments. The air grows thick with the sound of her every step, each one a reminder of a woman who once ruled the shadows with elegance and danger. She isn't back for a reunion or a quiet apology. No. Genevieve is here to unleash a bombshell, and the target is none other than her own son, Cane Ashby. What secrets has Genevieve been hiding all these years? And how will they tear at the very fabric of the life Cane has carefully built? There's so much more at stake than just her return. It's the devastating truth that might shatter everything Cane has come to believe. Could Genevieve be the reason Cane's father really died? The death of Colin Atkinson has always been shrouded in mystery. Cane has lived in the shadows of his father's legacy, never fully able to reconcile the man who raised him with the cruel, manipulative force that Colin truly was. But what if the real reason behind Colin's death isn't what Cane thought? What if Genevieve, in her quiet, calculating way, had a hand in it? Could she have been the one to pull the strings that led to Colin's downfall? Or, even more shocking, what if Colin isn't really dead at all? Genevieve's return might signal the truth. Colin has been hiding in the shadows, orchestrating a new chapter of manipulation, power, and influence from behind the scenes. If that's the case, Cane's entire life, his understanding of his family, and his path to power could be built on lies. What if Cane was kept in the dark all these years, only to find out that everything was a carefully constructed illusion designed to keep him in check? But that's not all. What if Genevieve is guarding something even bigger than Colin's death? Could she hold the key to the Chancellor fortune, a fortune Cane thought was his by birthright? What if, unbeknownst to Cane, Genevieve knows something about the true heir to the Chancellor legacy, something that would shift the balance of power in Genoa City? Could the fortune have been never meant for Cane, but for another family member, someone in Genevieve's bloodline who is just now coming to claim what's theirs? Perhaps the bombshells don't stop there. Imagine, if you will, that Genevieve isn't just playing games with her son's inheritance. What if she has returned to confront another ghost from her past, a half-brother of Cane, a sibling with ties to the Atkinson name? Someone who's ready to rise from the ashes and challenge everything Cane thought he knew about his family? If this unknown sibling has been lurking in the shadows, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, it could set off a full-fledged war within the Atkinson family, one that not only threatens Cane's future but could unravel every alliance he's built over the years. And let's not forget about Genevieve's unfinished business with Jill Abbott. The rivalry between Genevieve and Jill was never truly resolved, and now, with Genevieve returning to Genoa City with all her weapons sharpened, it seems inevitable that the two women will collide once again. What if Genevieve has returned to settle the score with Jill? To claim what was once taken from her, or perhaps even to take control of the Abbott legacy that Jill has so carefully protected? The battle between these two women could reshape the city. And this time, Genevieve isn't here to negotiate, she's here to dominate. But the most intriguing part of Genevieve's return is this: her pursuit of revenge against Victor Newman. There's no doubt that Genevieve has a complicated history with Victor. They were once allies, and their affair was infamous in Genoa City. But when it all ended, it didn't end kindly. Victor had his own ambitions, and Genevieve was a woman who didn't take kindly to being used or betrayed. Now, as the years have passed, her motivations are clearer. She's not just back to reconnect with her son or finish an old vendetta. She's back because Victor Newman needs to pay for everything he took from her. If anyone knows how to bring down a titan like Victor, it's Genevieve. She has the intelligence, the connections, and most importantly, the determination. And so, the stage is set. Genevieve is not back to patch things up. She's back to tear everything down. Cane may think he's in control. But he's about to find out that the woman who gave him life will also be the one who destroys the world he's built. No one in Genoa City is safe when Genevieve Atkinson sets her sights on something, or someone. Cane will be forced to confront the ghosts of his past, but not in the way he expects. His mother's return will ignite a series of events that he may not be able to stop. She has the power to ruin him, to take everything from him, and she isn't afraid to do so. The world of Genoa City is about to get a lot more dangerous, and Genevieve's presence will rewrite the rules of power in this city. Genevieve is back. And no one, not even Cane, is ready for the storm she's about to unleash. What do you think Genevieve's return will mean for Cane, Jill, and Victor? Will she succeed in taking control of the Chancellor legacy? Or will she face resistance that could lead to her downfall? Let's be honest, The Young and the Restless has always thrived on drama, but Genevieve Atkinson's return? This is about to escalate everything to next-level soap opera chaos. The stage has been set for something explosive, and with her re-emergence, Genoa City is about to be thrown into a whirlwind of power, deceit, and unrelenting ambition. Genevieve doesn't return quietly. She is a wild card in every sense of the term. While Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, plots her next scheme, always ready to sabotage anyone who dares stand in her way, and Nikki Newman spirals further into crisis. It's Genevieve who will sweep into town with a grace that masks a mind as sharp as any blade. Elegant, cunning, and utterly unpredictable. She's the one no one saw coming, and she's about to rewrite the rules. Where Nikki once stood as Genoa City's queen of class, Genevieve will prove that sophistication isn't always about restraint, it's about control. While Victor Newman flaunts his power and continues his calculated moves to keep his empire intact, Genevieve will remind everyone that no one, not even Victor, can outmaneuver her when she's truly focused. Her return will be the spark that lights the fire. The ignition of a chaos no one can prepare for. But it's the secrets she's about to reveal that will change everything. When Genevieve speaks, it won't just be a revelation, it will be an event. Picture this, she walks through the grand doors of the Chancellor Mansion with a confident stride, poised as ever, but with something far more dangerous in her eyes, a secret, a bombshell. Ready to detonate in the most explosive way possible. What if she's not just back for Cane? What if she's back to settle an old score with Victor Newman? What if she's hiding something even darker than anyone realizes? Something about Cane's past? Maybe she's guarding a secret about Cane's true inheritance that could topple everything he thought was his. Or perhaps there's a family heir lurking in the wings, a half-brother. Someone she's kept hidden from Cane all these years, someone who will rise to claim what was always theirs. Imagine her standing in the middle of Chancellor's empire, watching it all fall apart around her as she reveals that the legacy Cane fought for was never really his. His whole life, everything he believed in, was built on lies. And the only person who could expose the truth, Genevieve. But it's not just the truth of Cane's past she will expose, Genevieve will turn the entire Chancellor Winter's empire on its head. With one move, she'll undo everything her son has been working towards, reminding everyone that no one can wreak havoc like Genevieve Atkinson. Her charm will be as powerful as her ruthlessness, using every ounce of her allure to manipulate, seduce, and control those who are foolish enough to underestimate her. Y&R fans know that nothing stays hidden in Genoa City for long. And as Genevieve steps back onto the stage, ready to play her part, it will become clear that this time, no one, not even Cane, will be able to stop her. Her reappearance won't be some fleeting cameo. This is Genevieve taking control of her narrative, pulling the strings, and reminding everyone that when she enters the game, it's not just a game, it's war. What do you think Genevieve's return will bring to the storylines of Cane, Victor, Jill, and others? Is she truly back to reclaim control of the Chancellor legacy? Or does she have something even bigger in mind? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.